There's no denying that our planet is beautiful, but there are some places out there that look absolutely stunning, like long-lost lagoons or dark and creepy caves. Here are the top 10 most amazing places to visit on Earth. Number 10. Torres del Paine National Park. Chile is well known for its long coastline, good food, and right-wing dictators, although we'd say that its beautiful Torres del Paine National Park should get a bit more recognition. Situated in the southern Chilean Patagonia, the national park is known for its mountains, glaciers, lakes, and rivers. The park is also known for its incredible species, which include pumas, rheas, guanacos, and crested caracaras, while certain plants such as slipperworts and box-leaf barberries have a large presence as well. As such, given the park's immense beauty, it should come as no surprise that it receives more than 300,000 visitors per year. Number 9. Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. If you've ever received a postcard from Vietnam, then chances are that it had a picture of Ha Long Bay. Located in the northeast of the country, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's well known for its beautiful greenish-blue water and large green hills that rise out of it. These large hills are made out of limestone karst and were created thanks to 20 million years of erosion from tropical wind and rain. This in turn has turned the bay into its beautiful color, and while Ha Long Bay is a nice place to look at, it also has a variety of enjoyable excursions. After all, the area is filled with eco-tourist firms that offer activities such as rock climbing on the hills, kayaking through the bay, and adventuring in the nearby forests, with other local offerings such as traditional Vietnamese fish, and interactions with multi-generation fishermen and their families are also on order. We'd say that Ha Long is a must-see during any trip to Southeast Asia. Number 8. London. If you want to travel to a destination that offers endless activities, then London is the place to be. As the capital city of the United Kingdom, its position at the seat of what once was a global empire has made it a global center of culture, history, trade, and art. For example, London is home to the British royal family, and it therefore has magnificent royal residences such as Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. Due to London's importance, it's also home to many of the artifacts that were plundered from across the British Empire and its allies, with these being housed in free-to-enter yet comprehensive museums such as the British Museum, Imperial War Museum, and Victoria and Albert Museum. If history isn't your thing, you can instead opt to watch a soccer match being played by one of London's 7 Premier League clubs. Eat something you've never tried before at one of London's thousands of ethnic restaurants, or even have the time of your life at one of London's many nightclubs. Therefore, we think it's fair to say that a trip to London won't disappoint. Number 7. Avenue of the Baobabs. Madagascar is known for having strange species. After all, be it ring-tailed lemurs, sifacas, or aye-ayes, the island's millions of years of separation from Africa have given it thousands of animals that are not found anywhere else on Earth. Unsurprisingly, its uniqueness also extends to plant species, with the Grandidier's baobab perhaps being one of the island's coolest endemic plants. Growing to heights of up to 30 meters and living for up to 800 years, they have long trunks that are filled with water and flat branches that look a lot like a palm of a hand. As such, these trees are truly unique, and it's possible to see a lot of them in one place at the Avenue of the Baobabs. The avenue is essentially a dirt road flanked on all sides by very tall baobabs. Now, while this makes it a pretty simple spot, the fact that it looks like it was plucked from another planet makes the avenue a truly incredible place. It should therefore also come as no surprise that this has made it one of Madagascar's premier tourist spots. And so we'd say that if you ever get a chance to visit this unique island, you should definitely check this road out. Number 6. The Grand Canyon. The United States is a country known for its incredible set of landscapes, yet as far as landmarks go, none are quite like the Grand Canyon. Located about 4 hours east of Las Vegas and 3.5 hours north of Phoenix, the canyon expands across an area that is 466 kilometers long, 29 kilometers wide, and about 2 kilometers deep, and was originally carved out by the Colorado River about 5 to 6 million years ago. This evolution has given the canyon a vast array of colors, expansive forests, and fast river rapids, and all of this beauty can be explored in more ways than one. Perhaps the most popular is to see the canyon from above via its glass skywalk platform. However, if you like both physical activity and the outdoors, then you can get a more immersive experience by either hiking to the canyon floor or whitewater rafting through its belly. If you're willing to spend a pretty penny, you can even get a bird's eye view, as there are numerous helicopter rides and skydiving experiences available. Yet regardless of which activities you choose to do, it should come as no surprise that the Grand Canyon is a destination that's on many people's bucket lists. Number 5. Rome. When it comes to historic cities, few hold quite as much significance as Rome. Founded thousands of years ago in central Italy during different periods of time, the Etruscans, Romans, and papacy managed to build Rome into an extremely powerful state that not only had a strong military presence, but more importantly, had a capital city filled with modern infrastructure, beautiful buildings, and insane amounts of wealth. This has created a city that essentially mixes together the art from several different time periods, and the results are absolutely stunning. If you want to see the Rome of ancient times, you can travel to iconic sites such as the Colosseum or Roman Forum. If you're looking for Renaissance architecture, you can visit the Vatican, the various palazzi and villas of the Roman nobles, or the ornate churches filled with the masterpieces of Italy's finest artists. And if you're looking for something more modern, you can visit sites such as the Foro Italico or Termini Station. If that wasn't enough, Rome also has a thriving social scene, as the city is not only filled with some of Italy's best restaurants, but also hosts everything from religious processions in the streets to insane parties at the city's nightclubs. As such, despite its age, Rome is a thriving city that is as historic as it is modern, and so we'd say that it's fitting that Rome is often nicknamed the Eternal City. Number 4. Istanbul. Istanbul has been around for nearly 2,400 years, and its age and location at the crossroads between Europe, Africa, and the Middle East and Asia has made it a thriving city with a large amount of cultural significance. Known as Byzantium, Constantinople, and Istanbul at various points in time, the city first rose to prominence under the tutelage of the Greeks, although its time under the rule of the Roman emperors, Eastern Roman emperors, Crusaders, Ottoman sultans, and Turkish Republican administrators has given the city a unique cultural landscape that can't be found anywhere else on Earth. In terms of historic architecture, Istanbul is home to its share of beautiful buildings, with one of its most impressive being the Hagia Sophia, which at various points in history acted as a church, museum, and mosque. If you're looking for a lively experience with the locals, you can also go to Istanbul's bazaars, which are essentially large open-air markets. The Grand Bazaar is the city's largest by far, as it's filled with vendors selling decorative tiles, hand-woven rugs, and antiques over an area that spans more than 4 football fields. However, if those goods aren't your style, then you may want to visit the nearby Spice Bazaar, which is filled with spices, herbs, and teas, or the city's food markets, which sell fresh produce, cheeses, and fish. And of course, if you're looking to get away from the hustle and bustle of Istanbul's streets and bazaars, you can even use the city's Turkish baths, which allows you to sit back, relax, and depending on how much you pay, get treated like a king or queen. So, we'd say that Istanbul truly is an incredible place to visit. Number 3. Machu Picchu. The Inca were easily one of the most incredible civilizations in the Americas, and while they have plenty of interesting ruins, Machu Picchu is easily one of the most impressive. Perched at a height of 2,400 meters in the mountains of southern Peru, it was originally built as an estate for the Incan Emperor Pachacuti around the year 1450, and it remained untouched by those outside the local community until it was shown to American historian and explorer Hiram Bingham by a local guide in 1911. Now, the site itself consists of over 200 buildings where over 750 people are said to have lived. And despite the fact that Machu Picchu is a royal residence, it was run like a small town. However, it's the beauty of the mountaintop that truly places this site on this list, with some historians even speculating that Machu Picchu may have even acted as a pilgrimage site hundreds of years ago. Now, if you'd like to visit Machu Picchu, then you'll have to choose between one of 2 routes. The easiest way is to take one of the 3 trains, which run journeys that take about 3.5 hours each way and offer beautiful landscapes throughout. However, if you're a little more adventurous, then you can opt to take the old Inca roads by completing the famous Inca Trail trek. Spanning about 42 kilometers and lasting about 4 days and 3 nights, this uphill climb is one of the most scenic in the world, as it takes you through lush cloud forests, alpine tundra, and steep mountain passes. As such, a trip to Machu Picchu really is one where the journey is just as good as the destination. Number 2. Iguazu Falls. While Iguazu Falls may not have the name recognition of Niagara Falls in North America or Victoria Falls in Africa, these incredible waterfalls do not disappoint. That's because this system of 275 individual waterfalls is not only the world's largest waterfall system, but it's also so impressive that it's designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Situated on the border between Brazil and Argentina, it spans across a width of 2.7 kilometers and a total of between 15 to 13,000 cubic meters of water flow through it per second, depending on the season. Now, the falls are split about 20/80 by Brazil and Argentina respectively, although visiting the falls from either side has its own pros and cons. Supposedly, the views from the Brazilian side are considered to be the most panoramic and beautiful. However, the trails and vantage points on the Argentinian side are a lot more close-up and personal, which creates a more intimate experience. Yet regardless of which side you're looking at the falls from, the most popular point of interest is the Devil's Throat, which is an 80-meter tall and 150-meter wide waterfall that accounts for about half of the total water flow through the system. In any case, if you're not scared to get a little wet, there are a few cool activities you can do while you're at Iguazu. Some of the most thrilling include jet boat tours, which take you extremely close to the falls, and cliff rappelling excursions, which allow you to traverse a cliff face down to the bottom. If that's not your thing, you can instead opt for a jungle or helicopter tour, both of which are super fun and scenic. Therefore, no matter what types of activities you enjoy, you'll have something to do at Iguazu Falls. Number 1. Sondung Cave. When you think of a cave, chances are that a dark, dingy grotto is what comes to mind. And while this is true most of the time, the Sondung Cave is way different than the norm. Located in central Vietnam, it was formed between 2 to 5 million years ago, yet in a stroke of luck, it was only discovered by humans about 30 years ago. We say stroke of luck because this means that the cave has remained practically untouched, and this has led to it having one of the most insane ecosystems on the planet. Now, the first cool thing about Sondung is that it's the world's largest natural cave, standing at a height of about 200 meters, a width of about 150 meters, and a length of about 9 kilometers. This 1.6 million square meter cavern is absolutely massive. Now, while the space of this size is difficult to imagine, for reference, Sondung could easily fit an entire New York City block inside, including skyscrapers, or have a Boeing 747 jet comfortably fly through without its wings being in any danger. Sondung Cave has its fair share of geological wonders. Of these, the most notable by far is the wall of 70 to 90 meter calcite stalagmites found within the cave. The whole thing being so huge that it's often been nicknamed the Great Wall of Vietnam. Yet what really lands this cave on this list is not just these features, but the dense, lush jungles found within the cavern's depths. You see, since the cave was closed off to the outside world for so long, the species within it underwent millions of years of secluded evolution, which means that many of the plants, monkeys, flying foxes, frogs, insects, and hares that are found within cannot be found anywhere else in the world, and this makes the cave a world biological treasure trove. However, if you'd like a tour, you'd better be willing to pay up. That's because the tour company Oxalis Adventures is the only firm with the licensing necessary to enter the cave, and since they're limited to bringing in just 1,000 visitors per year, they charge an insanely high ticket price of $3,000 per person. However, given how amazing the experience is, most visitors believe that the costs are justified.